Hello everybody, my name is Tanner Kyler, and today I'm going to be talking about this restoration area behind me. This is on my parents' land. It's grown from about a half an acre to 5 acres over the years, and I'd like to introduce this. I did one other video on here about it, so if you haven't seen that, I'll pin it above. You guys can go watch that later after the video or whatever. But this one's going to be more of like just me out here explaining it. The other one's kind of like a whole process of how it's been going on, kind of a history of it. But this one right here is just going to be kind of a quick show of what we have here. So about 7 years ago, this property right here was completely mowed all the way down to the fence line. All these trees you see here are only 7 years old. I planted some loblolly pines in here when I was younger. They are native to Oklahoma, but they're not native to here, so I'm only going to keep the 2. The rest of them are native. They came up from seed from these larger trees above, or from rhizomes, or root systems of what was here before. So this property was dozed about 20 years ago. It was all covered in large canopy forest. Sorry about the wind also today. It's a bit windy out here. But now we have so many different species in here. I'm going to start talking about each of the species. So tree-wise, we have pecans over here, the loblolly pines I mentioned before. We have Kentucky coffee trees, sycamores. Right over here on the addition, this is the oldest piece of the restoration project. It's been here for about 7 years. This has been here for about 5 years. These trees are about 7 years old though, 8 years old. They're already like 30 feet tall because they already had root systems that were being mowed over every single year. And so they just shot up with a lot of vigor. We've burned this 2 times in its life since the restoration began. To keep this open for these native wildflowers and shrubs. Here we have big blue stem growing. This is what this one is. It's kind of starting to grow in right here. We have American giant ragweed, which is another species to grow here. We have purple top growing here, another native clump grass, tall thistles, all in this area. I'm going to try to put the Latin names on here so you guys can learn what they are. I'm here in Osage County, Oklahoma. Here are some thistles that are growing this year. They're biennial, so they'll come back and flower next year. That one's 2 years old. It'll bloom and then die this year, spreading its seed out. I've planted some switchgrass, which is a native grass too here. Some big blue stem, some smooth sumac that I'm hoping will pull through. And then here's some winged sumac. You can see the wings here, right here along this edge. I've planted wild bergamot all here, as well as along the front of the house. Over here we have a lot of different things like giant goldenrod, snow in the mountains. There are some zinnias in there which are non-native, but there is some showy goldenrod as well, red top, big blue stem, little blue stem. A lot of cool species growing along the edge of the house, and I'll show that here more in a minute. So right here, my hair is looking terrible. Right here we have some more tall thistle here that's already done, going to flower. Along all here, there's a lot of non-native grasses that I'm going to start spraying out this next spring with clethodim. It's an herbicide that treats grasses only and doesn't actually harm our native grasses too much. So I'm going to mostly try to get rid of the Bermuda, the serrata, or whatever you call this, the foxtail grasses, and a lot of the other non-native things like the Johnson grass that's taken over a large portion of this. Here we have a Maximilian sunflower I planted this year. It's just one stem, but should come back year after year. Right here we have biennial guara that I transplanted. It's got some caterpillars on it. I'm hoping it'll seed, come back next year, or at least start growing next year. Right up here in the yard, this is what all of this looked like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, some of it a little bit longer. But right up here, we have Maximilian sunflowers as well. These are large clumps that I got from someone I knew, and I divided them and spread them out through here. You can see their flowers starting to come out right over here. But before you know it, the whole thing's going to be coated with flowers. You can see each of these buds is going to have a flower on it. So here in about a week or 2, this thing's just going to be showered with flowers and have hundreds of butterflies and bees. It'll be a nice sight to see. Right down here we have some swamp mallow. But I'm really trying to do all native plantings around this place, this property, and on 5 acres of restoration area we're doing. So right here we have some black willow that I planted. This is all wetland up here, so I'm trying to get more of those growing up here for shade as well. Right down here we have some big blue stem that I transplanted, and some rough goldenrod from an area where it was getting mowed and it was getting killed, so I transplanted it. As we walk along the edge of this restoration project, we get over here to the real interesting side of it. Here is a switchgrass that I planted. the beginning of this year. It's getting quite nice in size. There wasn't much switchgrass in this property, so I'm trying to introduce some out here. There's some little ones growing right here. They're hard to see though. We got purple top growing right here, but one of the coolest things is this remnant of the prairie, and we have all this Indian grass, big blue stem growing up all along here. You can see all the golden seed heads. That is all Indian grass. I'll put the Latin name on so you guys can see that. Then we do have an issue with some Cerisa lesbideza, but we're going to spray that out this fall here in a couple weeks with some methylpheron. Right over here we have some more native grasses blowing in the wind, and then all that's invasive Johnson grass that I'm going to try to tackle next year. Right here close we have more Maximilian sunflowers, and then we'll go up here into the yard. Right here we have a bald cypress that I planted, and around it we have red top and sunflowers, snow on the mountain growing. We have common elderberries, ironweed, milkweed, and right over here on one of the milkweed plants we actually have some baby monarchs. Here's a monarch right here flying in front of me, probably coming to lay eggs on here as well. But right here we have one of the plants. Let me try to find it real quick. Yeah, right here we have a monarch baby going on this pink swamp milkweed that I planted. There's quite a few of those planted here and over here. We have rough goldenrod going right here. It's about to bloom. Hopefully it'll seed out thicker. There's some rattlesnake master growing down in there. So yeah, right here we have this large Jerusalem artichoke. If you come up closer to it here, there is buds starting to form, so it's about to bloom. These guys have tubers on it that we can actually eat. So they're the second highest yielding crop per acre. They have large tubers in the ground that we can actually eat, very similar to potatoes. Got some red top here, some big blue stem growing behind it. And then over here in the restoration area, we have some, you can see the tree there. That is a sycamore tree. We got some bald cypress that I planted a few years back. Got a box elder that I planted here. Got a lot of different cool native species. Got tall thistle, some pink milkweed. You can see that monarch fluttering around. Got some ironweed right up here, or not ironweed. We got some Indian grass up here close now. And then right over here in the edge of this restoration area, we have big blue stem. That big blue stem grows all around here. I'm hoping it'll thicken up. But then this restoration area runs about a half a mile up here. It gets much thinner, but it's still kind of protecting this corridor where these trees are growing. Over there we got a ton of Indian grass growing, got button bushes, all different kinds of native species growing here. And what's really cool about this project, it just shows up how much life can return. There's cicadas going crazy right now, if you can hear them in the video. There are katydids, there are grasshoppers, plenty of different species of bird that show up every year, like goldfinches and swallows come all around the house now. So it's attracting a lot of wildlife to this area that was otherwise pretty much just lawn for the majority of its life since this house has been built. Now right here behind me along this house, we have snow on the mountain, giant goldenrod growing right there. One of the giant goldenrods is starting to bloom here. They're absolutely stunning, really beautiful plants that are really good for our pollinators. And then if we come right up here closer to the house, we have red salvia growing, mountain mint, bee balm, and then all these switch grasses, which are taller than I am. And I'm around 6 feet, 6'2", so they're all taller than me. Right here we have big blue stem growing in the switchgrass. We got Indian grass. Behind that we have bushy blue stem, and then right here we have some big blue stem growing. There's zinnias that come back year after year. You know, they help with some of the pollinators. We just let them grow. Right over here we have some rose swamp mallow. His is stone crop, it's non-native, but right here we have some bee balm growing, a lot of wild bergamot. We have a bunch of purple coneflowers kind of overgrown with grass. I'm going to work on that next year. Little blue stem, snow on the mountain. We have showy goldenrod here blooming, kind of flopped over. Some more showy goldenrod right here. Just a plethora of native plants. We have some pink swamp milkweed growing here. It's actually putting on some seed that I'll actually have been collecting and spreading around, and then I'm stick this in my pocket to grow some when I get home. But right over here we have this golden crown beard blooming, beautiful flowers, just a ton of cool life around this house. And all of this is only a few years old. You can see a fritillary there going crazy. Right over here we do have another native black willow, got a shoemart oak growing, This is a non-native weeping willow from Asia, but they don't really spread, and it was given to me as a gift, so I planted it there. Right here we have a bur oak growing. We have some western soapberry that I planted in here to add to the biodiversity of the trees down here. Got more red top growing everywhere. Got some goldenrod. I'm not sure the species of this one. This one's really cool though. And then right over here we have some passion flowers, and there's one of those frituaries. This is the host plant for this caterpillar, that orange butterfly I just showed. They lay their eggs on here and they eat them. These passion flowers also are awesome because they grow a ton of cool flowers on them. This one's not blooming at the moment, but I'll put a picture. And then right over here we have a swamp. During a storm it blew some stuff over here, so I'm gonna try to keep that out of camera. We got big blue stem growing right here in the swamp, bunch of red top or purple top, and then we got sunflowers growing right over here, Maximilian sunflowers, and then your normal black oil sunflowers growing. Right down in here, there's some cane I got to get out. It got off down in there. I got to start removing that. But all of this area, we have these giant sycamores that are down here in the bottom. I might put a clip of those down up here in the video. Those things are 400, 500 years old. Some massive trees here. I mean, that thing's 150 feet tall. It is absolutely insane. Growing right there by the creek, getting all the water it needs. It's been there for hundreds of years. But hope this video wasn't too chaotic. I'm really excited about this. Right here in the yard, we have behind me this big pin oak I started the video at, but we have baby pin oaks growing up in the yard. I'm letting them grow up, about 5 of them, to help shade part of this big lawn we have in the future, and preserving the genetics of that large tree behind me. We got a bunch of big black oaks in our yard that are doing really nice. But I'm just gonna keep adding on to this year after year, and each year the life just increases. It doubles almost every single year. We got some woolly Dutchman pipe that we planted. I'll show that plant real quick. Right here by the chickens. It's growing up on here. Yeah. I just fed you guys. We got some Osage oranges growing down in there, and some right up here in the yard as well. Yeah, but there's so much cool life here. We got some trumpet vine. I'm trying to train up this tree to bloom up the base of this tree here. We got some blanket flowers, some Gallardaria punctella. Got some winter berries that I got for like $8 a piece, so I planted them. That one's not doing great. I'm not sure what species of sunflower this is, but they grow in shade. They get these spiky round seeds, and they're in the aster family, some kind of aster. They came up from down here. I collected seed and threw them around the base of this tree, and they're doing great. Some oak leaf hydrangeas, some pokeweed, more oak leaf hydrangea. We got red buds planted, Circus canadensis. Some switchgrass here at the corner. We got climbing, vining milkweed right down here. It's starting to grow. I'm hoping it'll train up this if the chickens will leave it alone. But yeah, as soon as it gets a little bit cooler in the year, I'm gonna get off down in there and some more up close things, do some plant of the day videos. I really want to start doing specialized videos about each plant, where they're good growing, how they grow well in our area, where you should plant them, where you shouldn't plant them, and the amount of life that they help support in this area. So if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe or like or comment below and tell me what you want to see next time. Once again, sorry about the wind here. Critique me on anything on these videos. I like to hear the positive or negative feedback from my videos. But yeah, until next time, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.